It's definitely important to get families from all different cultures and backgrounds to the door. But I would say most of the work happens as soon as those families enter the classroom.
Schools can look really diverse overall on paper, but you may walk into classrooms and find that the reality is instead really segregated. TCF's research on integrating classrooms and reducing academic tracking is designed to help school leaders and teachers come up with structures that can support differentiated instruction for students who are at all different academic levels, rather than creating separate tracks.
We have desegregated schools but segregated classrooms. We want our high-achieving students to be challenged and have a deep education that meets them where they are. But we don't want that education to be happening in a separate place away from the rest of their peers.
There are multiple ways that schools can commit to integrating classrooms. One strategy is to promote school-wide enrichment. These programs take the pedagogy of gifted education, which focuses on identifying individual students' talents, promoting creativity, and applying extra rigor to the curriculum, but then allows all students to have access to that pedagogy.
Our classrooms are integrated not by academic level, but by interests, so that students get to know one another based upon their passions. You may have a struggling student who might have a superior talent in art who is tutoring a top honors student, and now this special needs child is actually teaching somebody that they normally would never be exposed to in the school setting.
Another strategy that schools can use to promote integrated classrooms is diversifying advanced placement and international baccalaureate enrollment. Middle and high-income students are 3 times as likely as their low-income peers to participate in AP courses. Individual schools have been highly successful at closing those gaps when they first identify them and then create programs to make sure that their AP and IB classes are reflective of the diversity of their whole school.
Our school groups children heterogeneously. We give pre-tests for units and post-tests. And when students test out of certain curriculum, they are given independent projects and work based on their interest, while struggling students may be working with the teacher personally, while a co-teacher may be teaching to the middle of the room. So every child is receiving personalized attention, which really eliminates the need for tracking.
Every class at Harvest can be an honors class. In every classroom at Harvest, there are students getting honors credit, but they are all together with students taking the class for regular credit. Honors students will meet and work additional problems that are more in depth and more rigorous, but allow them to stay in the flow of the regular class.
All of our classrooms are co-taught. We have one special education teacher and one general ed teacher in one classroom, but you wouldn't know who's who. They're really 2 adults to meet the needs of all of the learners in the classroom.
Some research shows that nearly 37% of the test score differences between Black and white students is due to curricular differences due to academic tracking. We want to make sure that children have the opportunity to have challenging, innovative courses regardless of their background or socioeconomic status.
If all schools focused on integrating classrooms and reducing academic tracking, research suggests that we would see big increases in performance for students. And more than that, we would see benefits that students receive from having the chance to learn in environments that are much more diverse than what they typically experience in schools where students are highly tracked based on ability.
When students are allowed to engage in content that connects to the world around them, and they're able to do so with folks who have different lives than they do and who may think very differently than they do, we're then allowing new ideas and new spaces to be created, and that feels hopeful to me.